Welcome back to Showbiz Insider. So right now we need you to buckle up in the time machine because we're going to take you back to the golden age of magic. Yep, the Illusionists were in town with mind-bending tricks and psychic phenomena. Abracadabra! Yes, the Illusionists returned to the UAE with magic and experiments drawn from a treasure trove of long-forgotten mysteries. 8 world-class magicians transported the audience back to 1903, a time where conjurers were the true rock stars of the day. So Tommy, this show is really about the golden age of magic. Can you tell us how it really goes back and explores the origin of illusion?
Yes, it is about the golden age of magic because like 100 years ago, there we had all these big and famous magicians like Houdini, and in this show we bring performers from all over the world together to get in this theme with our costumes, with the music, with a great orchestra here, with all the pictures on stage and all the illusions, and we try to create all this atmosphere like 100 years ago, and here we are, back in the future, yeah.
The 7 new acts included the Alchemist, the Showman, the Escapist, the Clairvoyants, the Charlatan and the conjouress, showcasing the origins of some of the greatest illusions ever created in serious turn-of-the-century grandeur.
At the turn of the 20th century, the world was a far different place. With movies in their infancy, people turned to the variety theaters for their entertainment. There were animal acts, comedians, jugglers, and standing center stage in top hat and tails were the Illusionists. This was the golden age of magic.
The eccentric Charlie Fry brought vaudeville fun with juggling, slapstick acrobatics and all of those hoops. Charlie Fry joined the circus in his youth before charming the streets of New York City and eventually the stages of Nevada's casinos with his knack for absurdity.
If H.G. Wells and Jules Verne excelled in magic instead of writing, their illusions would probably have a neo-Victorian look to them. And if you think our next performers look like they just stepped out of a time machine, well, they would think the same thing about you. Presenting his illusions tonight, please welcome Alberto Giorgi.
The alchemist Alberto Giorgi is described as putting on a show straight from the pages of a Tim Burton movie.
My character is the Alchemist because I think that the alchemy is a strange and interesting magic world because in reality, in the reality world, the alchemy is the first moment of the science, and is in the middle between the science, magic, and chance also. It's something that is not well defined.
That old classic woman in a box impaled on spears who magically disappears. Then illusionist Alberto casts his spell, and she's back, intact and waving a white feather of surrender and survival.
I love to create something special for the audience that is not easy to find in the normal life. So my point is to produce a moment of fantasy and to believe that it's happening in this moment really.
How do you actually create your tricks, like the creation process? Is it kind of trial and error? How does it work?
Yes, it's sometimes I'm inspired from from little things that, for example, could be movies or or a story. For example, I have some eggs inspired for poetry or musicians.
Hold on to it, concentrate on the item, picture it in your mind. Dwayne, what does she have in her hand?
Keys.
That's right.
The Charlatan, Dana Daniels, dished up giggles, comedy tricks and tomfoolery with plenty of audience participation. Cryptic card tricks and, if you believe in ESP, there was even Dwayne the Psychic Dove.
What was the card you selected? Two. Can you elaborate a little more? What, did anyone else see it? What was it? Clubs, I hear? Okay, 2 clubs. Okay, and look at that. And Dwayne picked the 6 of diamonds. Pretty close. It's a bird.
The showman Mark Kaling had his own experimental theatre show in Reno, Nevada, and has developed from a sleight of hand magician to a giant stage presence and disappearing acts, which have previously included using tigers and even an aeroplane.
What you're about to witness is an experiment under test conditions. We've invited 6 of you to join us here on stage to see if all of you up here and all of you out there could unravel the secret to our latest mystery.
However, the big vanishing act in Dubai included a mini-house setup with audience members invited to sit at 360 degrees around it. Hey, presto.
Keep your attention on the cabinet. What you're about to see is completely impossible.
And be careful what you're thinking when the mind-reading illusionists are around. That's the show's only double act, the Clairvoyants.
My favorite part in our my favorite trick from our tricks, that's exactly what we're doing here. It's the blindfold act, where Amelie is blindfolded on stage. And the most interesting thing for us is, because it's different every night.
Tell me what happens when you get a whole bunch of different magicians together. Do you guys like sit around and kind of go, I really want to show you this trick?
No, it's a little bit crazier. It's not normal. They're all magicians, and it's a little bit like Hogwarts, you know. Charlie Fry, he's in the show. He's doing card tricks all over the time. He's excellent. We love to watch him, you know. We have fun. We work on all our material, and yeah, it's great to being with all this great cast together. Yeah.
Okay, time travel or astral projection, what would you prefer?
Time travel.
Now, Amelie, you were the amazing clairvoyant. Is this something that you were born with? Is this a skill that you developed?
I don't know. I think it's a combination of a lot of things, you know. You have to really, the communication between Tommy and me is very important, so we have to focus before the show a lot on it, and then of course it's also show, and we just love being on stage with this act.
Not forgetting the escapist Crandall. Now, he did exactly what you expect and managed to get out of locks and chains while suspended upside down in a water-filled box. Now that's magic, folks, but do not try that trick at home. Hope you were absolutely spellbound by the show's premiere. So those were the big stories of the month, guys, in film, fashion and magic. What more can you ask for? That brings us to the end of this edition of the show. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, stay in touch. We've got our Facebook page, which is Showbiz Insider Zoe, and we've also got our Twitter feed, which is @ZoeShowbiz, and that's for your latest international Hollywood gossip. We'll be back same time next month with the big one. It's Dubai International Film Festival. See you then.